Welcome to Life Happened, the place where people send in their very personal life stories for us to share with you. You can make a huge difference in their lives by sharing your feelings and advice from them in the comments below. My name is Kim, your host, and this story is from Marianne. Dear Kim, throughout my life, I've had to deal with constant criticism from my family, mainly my mother. When I was younger, I used to eat all different kinds of foods, and after a while, I began to gain more and more weight. Both my mom and my dad began to notice. My mom would say hurtful comments like, "My daughter shouldn't have so many rolls," or "You should be skinnier like other girls your age." She taught me that I was supposed to love myself for who I was. Was I supposed to just ignore her teachings and continuously shame myself for gaining a bit of weight? Should I have gone on a diet or exercised extra just to please my mother? Note: watching what you eat and exercising are good habits for everyone. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. What I did know was that I was naturally curvy and didn't need to change myself for anyone. However, that didn't stop her from continuously making comments. She didn't make them just on my body weight, but also what I wore. Ever since I could remember, I've loved wearing geeky clothes from different franchises such as Pokémon, Pusheen, and Steven Universe. I still wear the same types of clothes today. My mother always wanted me to look more girly and mature rather than disheveled and childish. I just wanted her to accept me for who I really was, but at the same time, I couldn't help but adore her. Note: mothers can have very strong opinions. I know because I am one. Yet we still need to remain true to ourselves and heed our children's thoughts and opinions. We have a book on this topic for reference in the description box below, and now is a good time to hit the like button. Now back to our story. Was my adoration just a manipulation of my mind? Was my love just a veil to cover the truth about my mother? Was she really just controlling and overbearing and I was too blind to see? I was conflicted and too afraid to find the real answer about my mother. Years passed and she still judged everything about me. It wasn't just my looks but also my intelligence. If I didn't do something not necessarily right, but in a way that she didn't want, she'd always say, "Are you stupid? That's not how you do it." Or, "Look, you idiot. It's not that hard." I would always get the job done, but never heard praise. If I did something good, I would usually get a or an endless list of what I could have done better. Note: name-calling is inappropriate and unjustified when it comes to our children. It made my self-esteem lower than ever before. After so many years of this constant stress, I don't know how to feel about my mother. Was I just a pawn for her to use whenever she wanted? Should I have defied her and stood up for myself? The more important question I had for myself was, do I love her? Of course, my instincts told me that I did, but after so many years, it became more and more clear. I still loved my mother, but not in the way that a child should normally love their parent. My love was more of a fear. It was a fear of the truth that my mother might not actually love me, but the idea of me. I pulled her aside one day. I thought that once I had turned 18, she would see me as an adult instead of a child. However, that wasn't necessarily the case. "Mom, I just want to know, is there something wrong with me?" I tried asking the question to make it seem like my fault to avoid conflict with my mother. Surprisingly, it worked. "Look, I tried raising you the best that I could. I tried leading you in the right direction, but I could only do so much. No matter what you force into your child's heads, they'll never listen to you." Those words stuck with me. Note: forcing children is not how one raises happy and healthy people. She really was trying to sculpt me into the perfect child. I didn't know whether I should be offended or feel bad for her. My mind was clouded with so many thoughts that it began to hurt. I'm about to move away from my hometown and continue with my life. To this day, I'm still not sure what to think of my mother. It's neither positive or negative, but at least I know one thing. It made me who I am today. I just wish that I could have made her more proud of me. Maybe I should reconcile with her. We thank Marianne for sharing her story with us. Now I will offer my thoughts and opinions. It seems as though Marianne had a rough childhood, always being criticized by her mother, We are very sorry to hear that. I assume we can all agree that raising a child can be daunting at times, even with all of the books available on the market on how to raise normal, healthy kids. I can say from experience, I also was under the supervision and care of a mother who found fault in several of the things I did when I was young. My mother didn't care for some of my friends. I should have received better grades, stayed in choir, and like Marianne's mother, my mother didn't always approve of the clothes I wore. Isn't it true that a mother-daughter relationship can be trying at times? Perhaps Marianne's mother wanted her to be the perfect-looking daughter. She may have wanted Marianne to fit better within their social norms. I say, let your child wear the clothes they wish to, within reason, of course. Up to a certain age, parents usually have the final say. So, should parents be so critical of their children and how they dress and perform in certain situations? No. Parents must try very hard to be the best parent for that child. They must use discipline, but not degrading remarks, since they do not make for a happy, healthy adult. They should be aware of constructive criticism, which has never let anyone down, and usually builds people up. Is it feasible to ponder how Marianne's mother was raised herself? Maybe because of her mother's upbringing, Marianne's mother may have experienced the same with her own mother. Also, I believe that people who are not happy themselves tend to focus and transmit their attention onto others, even their own children. This attention can be negative, as in Marianne's case. I would not be surprised if her mother was a very unhappy person and took her unhappiness out on poor Marianne. I do believe Marianne's mother loves her very much. She raised an independent, individualistic, free-thinking, hard-working young lady. So Marianne's mother has done quite well in that department. I just wish the berating and harsh language will one day stop forever. So, Marianne, you are a wonderful person who I believe does love her mother, because you may not have written this letter to us if you didn't. You don't need to change for anyone, not even your mother. Today's quote is, "Describing my mother would be like writing about a hurricane in full force or the rising and falling colors of a rainbow," by Maya Angelou. So perhaps you may have a comment, opinion, question, or answer to Marianne's story. If so, we would like to hear from you. And you can read other people's comments and opinions below relating to this letter. And remember that by liking and subscribing to Life Happened, you will hear me read letters every week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which people send us about issues they are dealing with in their lives. These are real-life personal stories and people's everyday experiences. And don't forget, if you have a personal story or issue which you would like to share with us, please send us an email using the email provided in the description box below. We would be very happy to hear from you. We thank you for joining us here today, where life happened. See you next time, and have a wonderful day.